Steve Harvey lost his composure when this orphan shared why he joined Family Feud. In a moment that would leave millions speechless, Alex stepped onto the stage, carrying a story so profound that it would touch hearts and shatter barriers. This isn't just a game show. It's a powerful journey of loss, hope, and the desperate search for belonging. Get ready, because what you're about to witness will resonate long after the credits roll. This is a tale of courage that proves family can be found in the most unexpected places. In a world where family often feels like a distant dream, Alex sat alone in their small room, staring out of the window at the bustling streets below. The laughter of families echoed in the distance, each joyful sound a painful reminder of what they had lost. Orphaned at a young age, Alex had learned to navigate life's challenges alone, their heart heavy with the absence of love and connection. Every day felt like a struggle against the tide of loneliness as they watched other kids enjoy the simple pleasures of family life. Game nights, shared meals, and the warmth of belonging. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow across the city, Alex's gaze drifted to the flickering screen of their computer. They scrolled through social media, feeling a mix of envy and longing as they saw friends posting pictures with their families. Each snapshot a reminder of the life they yearned for. Just when the weight of isolation felt unbearable, an unexpected glimmer of hope appeared. A vibrant ad flashing across the screen, announcing auditions for Family Feud. The words jumped out at Alex, igniting a spark deep within. Join us for a chance to win and share your story on national television. Could this be my chance? They wondered, the thought sending a thrill down their spine. This wasn't just a game show. It was an opportunity to step into the spotlight, to share their story with the world, and maybe, just maybe, to find a family among the contestants and viewers. The idea of being part of something bigger than themselves was intoxicating. For the first time in a long while, Alex felt a flicker of excitement, a possibility that life could change in an instant. Yet, as the initial thrill faded, self-doubt crept in, wrapping around Alex like a thick fog. What if their story wasn't enough? What if they couldn't connect with anyone? The stakes felt impossibly high, and the thought of rejection loomed like a dark cloud, threatening to extinguish the flame of hope that had just ignited. They could almost hear the whispers of doubt echoing in their mind, questioning their worthiness, their ability to stand before a camera and share their deepest pain. But in that moment of uncertainty, a flicker of determination ignited within Alex. They knew they had to take this leap of faith, not just for themselves, but for every kid who felt just as lost and alone. The thought of standing on that stage, sharing their truth, was terrifying yet exhilarating. It could be a chance to show the world that they were more than just an orphan. They were a survivor, a storyteller with a voice that deserved to be heard. With a deep breath, Alex made the decision to apply. They pulled out a notebook and began to jot down their thoughts, pouring out their heart onto the pages. Memories flooded back, of laughter shared with friends, of the warmth of a mother's embrace, and the pain of loss that had left an indelible mark on their soul. Each word they wrote felt like a step closer to reclaiming their narrative. They closed their eyes, visualizing what it would be like to be in front of the cameras, the audience cheering them on, and for the first time, dared to dream of a future filled with laughter, love, and belonging. But what they didn't realize was that this single choice would set off a chain of events that would forever change their life. The road ahead would be filled with challenges and surprises, testing their resolve and courage in ways they could never have imagined. As they hit the submit button on the application, a wave of relief washed over them, accompanied by a flicker of hope that maybe, just maybe, this was the beginning of a new chapter. One where they could finally write their own story. The day of the audition arrived, and excitement crackled in the air like static electricity. Alex awoke early, their heart racing with anticipation as they prepared for a day that could change everything. The sun had barely risen, casting a gentle glow through the curtains, illuminating the small room that had felt so confining for far too long. As they stood before the mirror, Alex took a moment to gather their thoughts and calm the whirlwind of emotions swirling inside. Today was not just about competing on a game show. It was about stepping into the light, shedding the shadows of their past, and embracing the possibility of a brighter future. Dressed in their best outfit, a simple but neat button-up shirt and well-fitted jeans, Alex felt a mix of trepidation and excitement bubbling within. The fabric felt soft against their skin, a small comfort amid the chaos of their nerves. As they meticulously styled their hair, Alex couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had led them to this moment. Each brushstroke was a reminder of their tenacity, and with each passing minute, they felt a little more ready to face the day. After a final glance in the mirror, they took a deep breath and stepped out into the world, eager to seize the opportunity that awaited. The journey to the studio felt surreal, with the city unfolding around them like a vibrant tapestry. Each passing landmark was a reminder of the ordinary life they had grown accustomed to, a life that often felt heavy with memories of loss. Yet, with each mile, the sense of something extraordinary ahead fueled their determination. As they approached the studio, the bright lights and the towering sign with the iconic Family Feud logo sent a rush of adrenaline coursing through their veins. This was the moment they had dreamed of, and now it was finally within reach. Upon arriving at the studio, the sight of the bustling crowd and the bright lights filled Alex with awe and wonder. The air was charged with excitement and anticipation, and the sound of laughter and chatter enveloped them like a warm blanket. Contestants mingled with crew members, each person buzzing with energy, as the crew prepared for what promised to be an unforgettable show. The scent of popcorn wafted through the air, a comforting reminder of family game nights spent in front of the television, where laughter and joy filled the room. Yet, amidst the excitement, Alex felt the weight of their own expectations pressing down on them. Would they fit in? Would they be able to share their story without breaking down? Backstage, the nerves began to churn in the pit of their stomach. Alex watched as other contestants laughed and practiced their lines, seemingly at ease, their camaraderie evident. It was a stark contrast to the turmoil brewing within. Just then, a friendly voice cut through their anxious thoughts. "You'll do great out there." It was a fellow contestant, a middle-aged man with kind eyes and a reassuring smile. "Just be yourself. That's all they want." His words offered a small measure of comfort, yet the butterflies in Alex's stomach refused to settle. They offered a smile in return, grateful for the support, but the gnawing self-doubt lingered. As the show began, the excitement in the studio reached a fever pitch. The host, Steve Harvey, bounded onto the stage with his infectious energy, instantly captivating the audience. His laughter echoed around the room, and for a moment, Alex felt the tension ease. They watched in awe as he effortlessly engaged with the crowd, his charisma lighting up the stage. This was the man they had seen on television since childhood, the embodiment of joy and humor. It was surreal to be in the same space, sharing the stage with contestants who, like them, held dreams of connection and belonging. But as the cameras rolled and the game began, The reality of the situation hit them like a wave. The stakes were high, and the pressure to perform loomed large. Throughout the first few rounds, Alex found solace in the game itself. They recalled the countless hours spent watching Family Feud with friends and imagining what it would be like to be in that very spot. Each question posed to their team brought a rush of adrenaline and a reminder of why they were there. With every correct answer, they felt a burgeoning sense of belonging, the thrill of camaraderie with their teammates. Laughter erupted from the audience, and for the first time, Alex felt a flicker of hope that they truly belonged here. But as the game continued, the reality of their journey weighed heavily on them. The urge to share their story loomed larger with each passing moment. Would they have the courage to speak their truth? The internal battle raged on, and just when Alex thought they could finally enjoy the game, a pivotal moment arose. A question came up that struck a chord, reminding them of the profound loss that had brought them to this stage. The question was about family traditions, and as the words echoed in the studio, Alex's heart clenched painfully in their chest. Memories of family celebrations, laughter, and warmth flickered in their mind, like a slideshow of a life they once knew. Would they seize the opportunity to share their heart? With their heart pounding in their chest, Alex glanced at Steve, who was engaging with the audience, his charisma lighting up the stage. This was the moment they had been waiting for, the moment to reveal their truth. As the laughter and excitement of the game swirled around them, Alex knew they had a choice to make. Stay silent and play it safe, or take a leap of faith and share their story. The decision felt monumental, and the weight of it bore down on them as they prepared for whatever would come next. Deep down, they understood that this was more than just a game. It was a chance to connect, to inspire, and perhaps to find the family they had always longed for. As the game progressed, the atmosphere in the studio intensified, a palpable energy electrifying the air. The audience was alive with excitement, erupting into cheers and gasps with every answer given. Alex could feel the adrenaline coursing through their veins, but beneath the thrill lay an undercurrent of anxiety. The moment they had been anticipating, the moment to share their story, loomed ever closer. Each question seemed to resonate deeper than the last, pulling at threads of memory that Alex had tried so hard to keep woven tightly together. Finally, the host, Steve Harvey, turned to Alex, a playful grin on his face. "All right, let's see what you've got. Name something people do at family gatherings." The question hung in the air, and Alex felt a wave of warmth wash over them as they thought about the countless gatherings they had missed. Memories of laughter, warmth, and love flooded their mind, and for a brief moment, they were transported back to a time when they felt whole, surrounded by those they loved. "Share stories," Alex blurted out, their voice rising above the noise of the studio. The answer resonated with the audience, a collective cheer erupting in response. The excitement of their correct answers sent a surge of confidence through them, filling them with a sense of accomplishment. But it was fleeting. As the realization of the deeper truth they had been avoiding crept back in. As the game continued, Alex's mind drifted back to the pivotal moment they had been dreading. They could feel the weight of their story pressing against their chest, demanding to be told. The other contestants shared their own anecdotes, each story weaving a tapestry of connection. And Alex felt a pang of longing to join in, to open up about their own experiences. As the game entered its final round, tension filled the air. Teams were neck and neck, and the stakes were higher than ever. Steve turned to Alex, his expression shifting to one of sincerity. "You're doing great, but I can see you've got something on your mind," he said, his voice warm and inviting. "Why don't you share with us what family means to you?" The question hung in the air, and the studio fell silent, all eyes on Alex. It was as if the world had paused, and the spotlight had narrowed down to just them, allowing the weight of their story to come forth. At that moment, Alex realized this was their chance, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to share their truth. Swallowing hard, they took a deep breath, feeling the weight of every eye in the room upon them. "Family," they began, their voice trembling slightly, "means love, support, and belonging. But for me, it's also been a journey of loss. I lost my parents when I was young, and for a long time, I felt like I didn't belong anywhere." The words spilled out, raw and unfiltered, as they recounted the pain of losing their family and the loneliness that followed. The crowd listened intently, and Alex could see empathy in their eyes. "I've spent years searching for that sense of belonging," they continued, their voice growing stronger with each sentence. "But being here today, surrounded by all of you, I feel like I've finally found a piece of that family I've been missing. This show isn't just a game to me. It's a chance to connect with others, to share laughter, and maybe even find a new family." Their heart raced as they spoke, each word a step toward liberation. The audience's reaction was immediate. A wave of applause washed over them, filling the studio with warmth and acceptance. As the final words left their lips, an overwhelming wave of relief washed over Alex. The audience erupted into applause, their cheers echoing in the studio like a warm embrace. Steve looked at Alex, his eyes glistening with pride. "That was beautiful, my friend," he said, his voice filled with sincerity. "You've got a remarkable story, and I'm sure it resonates with many people out there." In that moment, Alex felt a sense of liberation unlike anything they had ever experienced. The fear that had gripped them for so long melted away, replaced by a newfound sense of purpose. The applause continued, and as they looked out into the audience, they could see the impact of their words. People were nodding, some even wiping away tears. It was a moment of connection that transcended the game, a reminder that everyone has their own battles and stories to share. It was more than just a performance. It was an unburdening of the heart, a revelation that left Alex feeling lighter, as if they had shed a heavy cloak of solitude. As the game concluded and the team celebrated their victory, Alex felt a profound shift within. They had come seeking a competition, but what they found was something far more valuable: a community. The friendships forged in that studio that day began to bloom, with laughter and shared experiences binding them together. As they exchanged stories with their teammates, Alex felt a sense of belonging they had longed for. The nervous laughter and shared glances of understanding created a bond that transcended the game. During the post-show moments, the contestants gathered for a group photo, a snapshot of the camaraderie that had blossomed in such a short time. As they posed together, arms slung around each other's shoulders, Alex realized how far they had come in just a few short hours. The companionship felt genuine, a kaleidoscope of shared hopes and dreams, each person bringing their unique story to the mix. They had transformed from strangers to allies, united by the experience of vulnerability and the joy of connection. But as the excitement of the day began to ebb, the reality of their journey settled in. The show was just a snapshot of life, and the real world awaited beyond the studio doors. Would these newfound friendships endure beyond the bright lights and laughter? Would they stay in touch, or would they drift apart like so many others? The questions lingered in Alex's mind, mingling with the exhilaration of the day. They had taken the first step toward healing, and with it came the realization that family is not always defined by blood. It can be found in shared experiences, laughter, and the kindness of strangers who become friends. As Alex left the studio that day, their heart felt lighter, filled with hope and the promise of new beginnings. They walked down the steps of the studio, the sunlight warming their face, and for the first time in a long time, they felt as if they were stepping into a new chapter of their life. It was not just about the game. It was about the connections made, the stories shared, and the family found in unlikely places. Alex knew that the journey ahead would still have its challenges, but they felt ready to embrace whatever came next, armed with the knowledge that they were never truly alone. The days following the audition were a whirlwind of emotions for Alex. The exhilaration of sharing their story on national television lingered, but so did the uncertainty of what lay ahead. As they returned to their daily routine, the memories of the studio, the laughter, the applause, and the warmth of newfound friendships played on repeat in their mind like a favorite song. They found themselves scrolling through social media, eagerly searching for updates from their fellow contestants, hoping to see glimpses of their shared experience. Each notification sent a rush of excitement, a reminder of the bonds forged in the bright lights of the studio. It wasn't long before a group chat was formed, bringing together the contestants who had bonded over their shared journey. The chat buzzed with excitement, filled with inside jokes, photos from the show, and plans for the future. Alex felt a surge of belonging as they typed their first message, introducing themselves to the group and sharing a little about their life outside the show. "Hey everyone, it's Alex from the show. I just wanted to say how amazing it was to meet all of you. I'm still riding that high from the studio." Almost instantly, responses flooded in. "Alex, you were incredible out there." One contestant replied, followed by another who chimed in, "Right? Your story really touched me. Let's keep this connection going." The warmth of their words wrapped around Alex like a comforting blanket. This was what they had yearned for. A group of people who understood their journey and were willing to support one another beyond the confines of the studio. The camaraderie felt genuine, a refreshing departure from the isolation they had often experienced in their life before. The chat quickly became a safe haven where they could share their thoughts, fears, and dreams. They discussed everything from their favorite moments on the show to their hopes for the future. As the days turned into weeks, the bond deepened. They organized virtual meetups where they would share their lives, play games, and reminisce about their time on set. Alex found themselves looking forward to these gatherings, the laughter and camaraderie filling a void they hadn't realized was there. It was a reminder that connection could be found even in the digital age, where screens often separated rather than united. One evening, during a particularly lively virtual game night, Alex noticed a change in their perspective. They felt more confident and open than they had in a long time. The laughter that echoed through their laptop felt genuine, a reflection of the connections they had forged. It was during one of these meetings that the idea of a reunion came up. "Why don't we all meet up in person? Maybe somewhere fun where we can really celebrate," one contestant suggested, and the chat erupted in enthusiasm. Plans were made, and soon a date was set for a reunion in a nearby city known for its vibrant atmosphere and entertainment options. As the reunion date approached, Alex felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. Would the connections they had formed online translate into the real world? Would they all feel as comfortable together in person? These questions swirled in their mind, but the excitement outweighed the doubts. They decided to take a leap of faith, packing a small bag with essentials and a few reminders of their journey. A photo from the show, a small memento that held significance, and a notebook filled with thoughts and reflections. Each item was a tangible reminder of how far they had come and the courage it had taken to share their story. The day of the reunion dawned bright and sunny, the kind of day that felt like a promise. Alex arrived at the designated meeting spot, a quirky cafe filled with colorful art and an inviting atmosphere. As they stepped inside, their heart raced with anticipation. Would they recognize each other? Would the chemistry they had online translate into real-life connections? These questions loomed large in their mind, but the vibrant decor and the scent of freshly brewed coffee helped to ease some of their nerves. Moments later, laughter erupted from a table in the corner, and Alex turned to see familiar faces. The warmth in their hearts ignited as they approached, greeted by excited hugs and enthusiastic hellos. "Alex, you made it!" one contestant exclaimed, pulling them into a hug. The initial nervousness melted away as they settled into their seats, the conversation flowing effortlessly. They spent the day exploring the city, visiting quirky shops, and enjoying delicious food from local vendors. Each moment was a celebration of their shared experience, the bond they had forged in the studio deepening with every laugh and every shared memory. Alex marveled at how easily they slipped into conversations, discussing their lives, aspirations, and even the challenges they faced. It was a refreshing reminder that they were not alone in their journey. Everyone had their struggles, their hopes, and their dreams. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, the group found themselves in a park, sitting on the grass and soaking in the beauty of the evening. It was here that Alex felt a profound sense of gratitude wash over them. They had stepped into the studio as a contestant, but now they were leaving with a family of sorts. People who understood them, who had shared in their joy and pain, and who would walk alongside them on their journey of healing. The bonds formed in the studio had transcended the game. They had become a support network, a circle of trust that would extend beyond the confines of the show. The conversations turned more reflective as they shared their hopes for the future. Alex spoke candidly about their desire to continue sharing their story, to inspire others who felt alone in their struggles. "I want to help others find that sense of belonging," they said, their voice filled with passion. "I know what it feels like to be lost, and I want to be a beacon of hope for others." The group listened intently, nodding in understanding, and it was clear that Alex's words resonated deeply with everyone. This moment felt pivotal, a collective acknowledgement that they were all in this together, each one carrying their unique burdens, but also their dreams. As the night drew to a close, the group exchanged contact information, promising to stay connected and support one another in the days to come. Alex felt a sense of fulfillment as they hugged each person goodbye. These were not just acquaintances from a game show. They were companions on a shared journey, each one uniquely contributing to the tapestry of their collective story. With plans for future meetups and online chats, Alex felt a sense of hope blossoming within them. They had discovered a new family, one that understood their struggles and celebrated their victories. Driving home that night, Alex felt lighter than they had in years. The reunion had solidified the understanding that family isn't just a matter of blood. It's about the connections we make, the support we share, and the love we cultivate along the way. With a heart full of hope and a renewed sense of purpose, Alex knew they were ready to embrace whatever came next, armed with the knowledge that they were no longer alone in their journey. The road ahead might still have its twists and turns, but now they had a community to lean on, a group of friends who would walk beside them every step of the way. As the weeks turned into months, Alex found themselves adjusting to a new rhythm in life, one that was rich with connection and purpose. The bonds formed during the reunion with their fellow contestants had blossomed into a robust support network. They kept in touch regularly, sharing life updates, encouraging one another through challenges, and celebrating each other's achievements, no matter how small. It felt refreshing to have a group of people who genuinely understood the struggles of navigating life after loss, each of them carrying their own stories of resilience and hope. Inspired by the strength of their newfound friendships, Alex decided to take a bold step toward their personal growth. They began volunteering at a local community center that provided support for individuals who had experienced similar losses. The center was a sanctuary, offering counseling and resources to those in need. Alex felt drawn to this mission, eager to help others find their voice and their place in the world, just as they had begun to do. Each time they walked through the doors of the center, they felt a sense of purpose wash over them, a calling to use their experiences to uplift others. During one of the volunteer sessions, Alex met Jamie, a young woman who had recently lost her father. Jamie was shy and withdrawn, hesitant to share her feelings with the group. Alex saw a reflection of their own past struggles in Jamie's eyes and felt an immediate urge to connect. They approached her gently after the session, offering a listening ear. "I know how hard it can be to talk about these things," Alex said softly. "If you ever want to share your story, I'm here to listen." Jamie looked up, her eyes glistening with unshed tears, and nodded appreciatively. In that moment, a bond began to form, rooted in shared grief and the desire for healing. Over the following weeks, Alex and Jamie began to meet regularly, exchanging stories and coping strategies. They discovered shared interests, such as a love for music and a passion for the arts. Alex found that sharing their own experiences not only helped Jamie, but also deepened their understanding of their own grief. They talked about the memories of lost loved ones, the moments that made them laugh, and the tears that still came unexpectedly. In the safe space they created together, both felt empowered to explore their emotions without fear of judgment. Jamie expressed her desire to honor her father's memory by pursuing art, and Alex encouraged her to channel her feelings into creative expression. "Art can be such a powerful way to process what we're going through," Alex suggested. "Let's take a class together." Before long, the two began exploring local art studios. Finding joy in painting and drawing, each brushstroke became a form of therapy, a way to express emotions that often felt too heavy to voice. As they painted, they shared laughter and tears, creating a sanctuary of creativity that allowed them to connect more deeply with one another. Alex marveled at Jamie's talent as she transformed her grief into beautiful pieces of art, each canvas telling a story of love and loss. The vibrant colors they used reflected not only their sorrow, but also the hope they were discovering together. Jamie's artwork, filled with swirling blues and bright yellows, turned out to be a reflection of her emotional journey. Sometimes dark and tumultuous, other times bright and hopeful. Encouraged by their progress, Alex proposed an idea that had been brewing in their mind. "What if we host an art show at the community center?" they suggested one day, excitement lighting up their eyes. "We could invite everyone we've met here and showcase our work. It could be a beautiful way to honor our loved ones and raise awareness about grief." Jamie's face lit up at the thought. "That sounds amazing. We could even have a space for people to share their stories and memories alongside the art. The idea quickly took shape, and the two began planning, reaching out to fellow volunteers and community members to participate. As the date of the art show approached, excitement mixed with nerves. Alex and Jamie worked tirelessly, creating flyers and setting up the exhibition space. They reached out to local artists to donate pieces and even arranged for a small local band to play during the event. The sense of community was palpable as they prepared, with everyone pitching in to make the event a success. Alex felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude for the connections they had made and the support they had received. It was a reminder that they were not alone in their journey. They were part of a larger tapestry of people who understood the complexities of grief. On the day of the art show, the community center buzzed with energy. Friends, family, and fellow volunteers gathered to celebrate the work of those who had turned their sorrow into something beautiful. As people strolled through the exhibit, Alex felt a mix of pride and joy. They watched as attendees paused to reflect on the art, their expressions shifting from sorrow to hope. The vast atmosphere was charged with emotion as stories were shared, tears were shed, and embraces exchanged. It was a powerful reminder that art could serve as a bridge, connecting individuals through shared experiences. The walls of the community center seemed to come alive with the stories behind each piece, as if the very air resonated with the emotions of those who had contributed. In one corner of the room, Jamie stood by her artwork, nervously awaiting feedback. Alex approached her, offering a reassuring smile. "You've poured so much of yourself into this. No matter what anyone says, remember that this is your expression, and it's beautiful." As the first guests began to approach Jamie's paintings, she held her breath, anxiety and anticipation swirling within her. But as they began to share their reactions, praising her talent and emotional depth, Jamie's face lit up with joy. "I can't believe this," she whispered to Alex, her eyes shining with disbelief and happiness. "People actually love my work." The evening unfolded beautifully, with heartfelt speeches from those who had been touched by loss and stories of resilience shared alongside the artwork. As Alex took the stage to speak about their journey, they felt a wave of emotion wash over them. "This exhibition is not just about art," they began, their voice steady but filled with emotion. "It's about connection, healing, and honoring those we've lost. We all carry our grief differently, but together, we can find strength in sharing our stories." The crowd nodded, many wiping away tears as they resonated with Alex's words. After the speeches, the night continued with laughter, music, and a profound sense of community. As the event came to a close, Alex felt a sense of fulfillment that was hard to put into words. They had not only helped Jamie find her voice, but had also created a space for others to share theirs. The art show had become a celebration of life, love, and the enduring connections formed in the face of loss. Driving home that evening, Alex reflected on the journey they had undertaken. They had stepped into the world of grief, feeling isolated and alone. But now they were surrounded by a vibrant community that embraced vulnerability and celebrated resilience. The art show had been a powerful reminder of the beauty that could emerge from pain, and Alex felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were ready to continue sharing their story, to help others find their voices, and to embrace the changes that lay ahead. As they turned onto their street, a smile spread across their face, knowing that this was just the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with connection, creativity, and love. In the weeks following the art show, the community center buzzed with activity. Inspired by the success of the exhibition, Alex and Jamie, along with the other volunteers, began brainstorming new programs to continue fostering creativity and connection among those grieving. They organized workshops focusing on various forms of artistic expression, painting, writing, and even music. Each session served as a reminder that grief could be transformed into something beautiful, a journey that could be shared collectively rather than faced alone. Alex took on a leadership role, helping to coordinate the workshops and encouraging others to share their talents. They felt invigorated by the collaborative spirit that had developed within the center, realizing that each person brought something unique to the table. As they facilitated sessions, Alex witnessed firsthand the healing power of art. Individuals who had once been hesitant to express their emotions began to open up, sharing their stories and creating meaningful connections with one another. It was a testament to the idea that when people come together to support one another, they can create a community that thrives on love, understanding, and shared experiences. Through the workshops, Alex also discovered new aspects of their own creativity. They began to experiment with different mediums, exploring photography as a way to tell their story visually. Each click of the shutter felt like a release, capturing moments of beauty amidst the chaos of life. They started documenting the workshops, the laughter, and the moments of vulnerability shared among participants, creating a visual diary that chronicled the journey of healing. One day, during a photography session, Alex captured a stunning image of Jamie painting, her face illuminated by the soft glow of natural light filtering through the studio windows. That image, full of emotion and passion, became a symbol of their collective journey, an embodiment of the strength they found in each other. Alex decided to include this photograph in an upcoming community newsletter, showcasing the impact of the art workshops and inviting others to join in. They believed that sharing these stories could inspire more individuals to seek help and find their own paths to healing. As the seasons changed, so did the atmosphere at the community center. The workshops became a beloved staple in the community, attracting not only those who had experienced loss, but also individuals seeking creative outlets and connection. Each gathering was filled with laughter, shared stories, and the warmth of new friendships forming. Alex felt a deep sense of fulfillment in witnessing the transformation that had taken place, not just in themselves, but in the lives of others who had walked through the doors of the center. Looking back on their journey, Alex realized how far they had come since the days of feeling isolated and alone. The connections they had forged through grief had blossomed into a vibrant community that thrived on support and creativity. They understood that embracing change was not merely about moving on. It was about building a new life filled with purpose and connection. Each day brought new opportunities for growth, and Alex was ready to seize them, knowing they had a network of friends and allies by their side. In the quiet moments at home, Alex often reflected on the journey that had led them to this point. They remembered the struggles, the tears, and the moments of doubt. But they also remembered the joy that came from sharing their story and connecting with others. It was a powerful reminder that healing is not a linear path. It is a winding road filled with ups and downs, but every step is worthwhile when shared with others. As they lay in bed one night, Alex felt a profound sense of gratitude wash over them. They closed their eyes, envisioning the faces of their friends, their community, and felt a warm glow of hope and love. With a heart full of dreams and aspirations, Alex drifted off to sleep, ready to embrace whatever lay ahead, knowing that they were never truly alone on this journey of life. As the new year approached, Alex felt a palpable shift in the air, a sense of renewal and possibility that filled their heart with anticipation. The community center had become a second home for them, a place where creativity flourished and connections deepened. The workshops continued to thrive, each session bringing together a diverse group of individuals united by their stories and experiences. Alex had taken on a more active role, helping to facilitate not just the art classes, but also organizing special events that celebrated the power of healing through creativity. One of the most significant events they planned was a community showcase, intended to highlight the talents of those who had participated in the workshops throughout the year. The idea was to create a space where participants could display their artwork, perform music, and share poetry, all while raising awareness about the importance of mental health and community support. Alex envisioned it as a celebration of resilience, a way to honor the journey each person had undertaken, while also inviting others to join the community. As the date for the showcase approached, excitement filled the air. Alex worked closely with Jamie and other volunteers to spread the word, creating posters and reaching out to local businesses for sponsorship. The response was overwhelmingly positive, with many eager to contribute to the event. The center buzzed with energy, and there was a palpable sense of camaraderie as everyone worked together toward a common goal. Each meeting was infused with laughter and a sense of purpose, as they brainstormed ideas for decorations, the layout of the space, and the schedule for performances. Alex found joy in these collaborations, feeling the weight of their previous isolation lift as they connected with others. However, amidst the excitement, Alex also felt a twinge of anxiety. They had never organized an event of this magnitude before, and the pressure to make it successful weighed heavily on their shoulders. Late nights were spent poring over details, coordinating schedules, and ensuring everything would run smoothly. Overwhelmed at times, Alex took to journaling, using it as a means to process their thoughts and emotions. Writing became a refuge, a way to clarify their vision and relieve the stress that accompanied the planning. They filled pages with ideas, sketches of the layout, and notes on how they could incorporate feedback from past workshops to make the showcase truly special. But as they planned, they also found solace in the support of their friends. Jamie often stayed late to help, and together they would brainstorm ideas while snacking on takeout and reminiscing about the laughter they had shared in workshops. Their bond deepened during these late nights, filled with shared dreams and aspirations. One evening, as they spread out colorful fabric swatches for decorations on the table, Jamie looked at Alex with a serious expression. "You know, you've really grown so much through this process," she said, her voice earnest. "I remember when we first met, and you were still figuring things out. Now, you're leading this amazing initiative. It's inspiring." Alex felt a warmth spread through them at Jamie's words, a validation of their journey. "I couldn't have done it without you and all the others," they replied, smiling. "We've built something beautiful together." The night of the showcase arrived, and the community center was transformed into a vibrant space filled with art, music, and laughter. Colorful banners adorned the walls, and each corner of the room was filled with the creative expressions of those who had participated in the workshops. The energy was electric, and Alex could feel their heart racing with excitement as they welcomed guests and introduced the evening's program. For a moment, they stood at the entrance, taking it all in, the people mingling, the artwork displayed, and the palpable sense of community that enveloped the room. It was a tapestry of diverse talents and stories, each piece a testament to resilience and creativity. As the event unfolded, Alex felt a mixture of pride and joy. Performers took the stage, sharing poetry that resonated with the audience, while others showcased their visual art, explaining the stories behind their creations. The room was filled with applause, laughter, and a few tears as people connected with one another's stories. Alex was particularly moved when Jamie took the stage to present her artwork, sharing the emotional journey that had led her to paint. The audience listened attentively, captivated by her honesty and vulnerability. Alex couldn't help but feel a surge of admiration for Jamie. She had come so far, and it was evident that her art was a powerful outlet for her healing. Jamie's courage inspired others to open up, and soon more participants were sharing their stories, creating a rich atmosphere of connection and understanding. After Jamie's presentation, Alex took a deep breath and stepped onto the stage. The spotlight felt warm and inviting, and as they glanced out at the audience, they saw familiar faces, friends, family, and those who had been part of their journey. "Thank you all for being here tonight," Alex began, their voice steady but filled with emotion. "This showcase is a celebration of the incredible strength that resides within each of us. We all come from different backgrounds and experiences. But here, we have created a community that supports one another through our struggles. Art has the power to heal, to connect, and to inspire. And I'm grateful to share this space with all of you." As they continued speaking, Alex felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude for the journey that had brought them to this moment. They shared their own experiences with grief and loss, emphasizing the importance of vulnerability and connection. It's okay to feel lost, to seek help, and to lean on others. Together, we can transform our pain into something beautiful. The room erupted in applause, and Alex felt a wave of support wash over them. It was a reminder that they were not alone in their journey. They were part of something bigger, a community woven together by shared experiences. The night concluded with a sense of unity and hope, as people mingled and shared their stories long after the official program had ended. Alex watched as connections formed, friendships blossomed, and laughter filled the air. The showcase had not only highlighted the talents of individuals, but had also fostered a deeper sense of community, a testament to the power of shared experiences. As the last guests began to leave, Alex felt a profound sense of accomplishment. They had taken a leap of faith, and it had paid off in ways they had never imagined. The sense of fulfillment was like a warm embrace, wrapping around them as they cleaned up the space, reflecting on the success of the night. In the days following the event, the community center experienced a surge in interest. More people began to reach out, eager to join the workshops and connect with others. Alex was thrilled to see the impact the showcase had made, and they felt a renewed sense of purpose in their role at the center. They began brainstorming new ideas for future events, thinking about how they could continue to foster creativity and connection among those in need. Each morning, they would wake up with a sense of excitement, jotting down ideas in their notebook, eager to bring new initiatives to life. One idea that particularly excited Alex was the concept of a storytelling night, a space where individuals could share their personal narratives in front of an audience. Storytelling had always been a powerful tool for connection, and Alex believed that hearing each other's stories could deepen understanding and empathy within the community. They quickly enlisted Jamie's help, and together they began planning the first storytelling night, reaching out to local poets and writers to participate. The planning sessions were filled with laughter and brainstorming, as they envisioned how to create a warm and inviting atmosphere where everyone would feel comfortable sharing their truths. As they worked on the details, Alex found themselves reflecting on their own journey. They had come so far since the audition that had sparked this incredible transformation in their life. The connections they had forged, the art they had created, and the lives they had touched were a testament to the healing power of community. they felt a sense of responsibility to continue the work they had started, to be a beacon of hope for others who might be struggling with their own grief. Each conversation with Jamie and the other volunteers reinforced their commitment to fostering a safe space for healing and growth. On the night of the storytelling event, Alex felt a mix of nerves and excitement as they prepared to welcome participants. The community center was filled with an atmosphere of anticipation, and as people began to gather, Alex could sense the energy in the room. They had created a safe space for vulnerability, and they hoped that everyone would feel comfortable sharing their stories. The decorations they had chosen, a mix of soft lights and cozy seating arrangements, added to the inviting ambiance, making it feel like a gathering of friends rather than a formal event. As the event began, Alex took the stage once more, welcoming everyone with a warm smile. "Thank you all for being here tonight," they said, their voice steady. Storytelling is a powerful way to connect with one another. Each of us has a unique story that deserves to be heard, and tonight we have the opportunity to share our experiences and support one another. The crowd erupted in applause, and Alex felt a wave of gratitude for the community that had come together. It was a moment of unity, a collective acknowledgement of the strength found in vulnerability. One by one, individuals took the stage, sharing their stories of loss, love, and resilience. Each narrative was met with empathy and understanding, creating a tapestry of shared experiences that resonated deeply. Alex listened intently, feeling the weight of each story and the strength behind each voice. It was a reminder that while grief could be isolating, sharing it could bring people closer together. As the stories flowed, Alex noticed the audience leaning in, captivated by the courage displayed before them. The stories wove a rich fabric of emotion, connecting each listener to the shared human experience of love and loss. As the night unfolded, Alex felt a sense of fulfillment wash over them. They had created a safe space for healing, and the connections formed in that room were a testament to the power of vulnerability. When the final storyteller finished, the room erupted in applause, and Alex felt a surge of pride for everyone who had shared their truth. They concluded the evening with heartfelt words, thanking everyone for their bravery and encouraging them to continue sharing their stories beyond the walls of the community center. The atmosphere was charged with emotion, a palpable reminder of the bonds that had been forged through shared experiences. Driving home that night, Alex reflected on the incredible journey they had undertaken. They had embraced change, transformed their grief into something beautiful, and built a community that thrived on connection and support. As they parked their car, they looked up at the stars twinkling above, feeling a sense of peace wash over them. They knew that while the road ahead might still have its challenges, they were ready to face them, surrounded by a community that understood the power of shared experiences. With a heart full of gratitude and hope, Alex stepped into their home, ready to embrace whatever new beginnings awaited them. In the weeks that followed, the storytelling night became a regular event, growing in popularity and significance within the community. Each session attracted new faces, and the intimate atmosphere encouraged participants to share their stories of resilience and healing. Alex was thrilled to see how the power of storytelling was fostering connections between people who may have never crossed paths otherwise. They realized that every story shared was a thread in the larger tapestry of their community, each one adding depth and richness to the collective experience. As the new year continued, Alex and Jamie decided to expand their offerings even further. They brainstormed the idea of organizing a retreat for those who had participated in the workshops and storytelling nights. A weekend dedicated to art, healing, and self-discovery. They envisioned a weekend filled with creative workshops, group discussions, and quiet moments for reflection, all set in a serene environment away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. The more they discussed the idea, the more excited they became about the potential impact it could have on the participants. Excited by the prospect, they began planning the retreat, seeking out a nearby location that offered the tranquility they desired. After visiting several sites, they settled on a picturesque cabin by a lake, surrounded by towering trees and the peaceful sounds of nature. It felt like the perfect setting for individuals to reconnect with themselves and each other. The cabin had a warm, inviting atmosphere with large windows that overlooked the water, providing a view that promised inspiration and reflection. As they promoted the retreat, the response was overwhelmingly positive. Many expressed eagerness to participate, and soon, Alex and Jamie found themselves immersed in the logistics of planning meals, scheduling activities, and preparing materials for the workshops. They wanted to ensure that the retreat would be a transformative experience for everyone involved. Each detail was considered carefully, from the types of workshops to the meals they would serve, aiming to create a nurturing environment that would foster healing. A week before the retreat, the excitement reached a fever pitch. Participants began to share their anticipation online, discussing what they hoped to gain from the experience. Alex felt a mix of joy and nerves as they read through the messages. They were excited to see so many people ready to embark on this journey of self-discovery together. But they also felt the weight of responsibility to create a meaningful experience. They knew that this retreat could be a pivotal moment for many and wanted to ensure that everyone felt supported and valued throughout the weekend. Finally, the day of the retreat arrived. And as Alex loaded their car with supplies, they felt a buzz of anticipation. They and Jamie arrived at the cabin early to set up, and as they unloaded the car, they took a moment to breathe in the fresh air and appreciate the beauty surrounding them. The sun shone brightly, casting a warm glow over the landscape, and the sound of the lake lapping gently against the shore created a soothing backdrop. It felt like nature itself was welcoming them to this special gathering. As the participants began to arrive, Alex greeted each person with a warm smile and a hug. It felt incredible to see familiar faces and to welcome newcomers into the fold. After everyone settled in, Alex gathered everyone together for an opening circle, where they introduced themselves and shared what they hoped to gain from the weekend. The atmosphere was filled with excitement and vulnerability, as each person expressed their intentions and desires for the retreat. It was a powerful moment, setting the tone for the weekend ahead, and fostering a sense of community from the very start. Throughout the weekend, the schedule was filled with a variety of activities designed to inspire creativity and promote healing. They held painting workshops, mindfulness sessions, and guided discussions that allowed everyone to dive deeper into their emotions and experiences. The combination of art and nature created a unique environment that facilitated connection and introspection, allowing participants to explore their feelings in a safe and supportive space. Alex felt a sense of fulfillment as they led the sessions, witnessing the participants engage with their creativity and share their truths. One evening, as the sun set over the lake, casting a golden hue across the water, Alex led a guided meditation. They encouraged everyone to close their eyes and visualize their loved ones, inviting them to feel the presence of those they had lost. The silence that followed was profound, filled with the whispers of memories and the gentle rustle of leaves in the wind. After the meditation, participants shared their experiences, and the tears that flowed were met with understanding and compassion. It was a powerful reminder of the bonds that formed through shared vulnerability and Alex felt grateful for the opportunity to witness such deep connections being forged. As the retreat came to a close, the final circle was filled with reflections and gratitude. Participants expressed how much the weekend had meant to them, sharing stories of personal growth and newfound friendships. Alex listened intently, their hearts swelling with pride and joy. They had created a space where healing could flourish, and the impact of the retreat extended far beyond the weekend. The bonds formed during this time would carry on, creating a ripple effect of positivity and support that would resonate throughout the community. Driving home after the retreat, Alex felt a profound sense of fulfillment. They had witnessed transformation and connection on a level they had only dreamed of. The weekend had not only solidified the bonds within the community, but had also inspired Alex to continue pushing the boundaries of what they could achieve together. With a heart full of hope and excitement for the future, Alex knew that they were ready to embrace whatever new beginnings awaited them. They envisioned more retreats, more workshops, and even more storytelling nights that would continue to foster creativity, connection, and healing.